as I was saying.
Again. You did the day, didn't you? Welcome back to this week's podcast. I'm DJ T. We have DJ Envy in the middle and DJ Wongi to that side at the end.
Hey!
What have we got up to this week, guys? And I know straight away it's a loaded question, but Mr. Envy, yeah, please tell us why you do not have a controller and what have you replaced it with?
I don't have a controller because I'm poor. No, right, on the serious side, I did. Oh, I'm going to kick the camera. I've decided now to go down the route of the CDJ 700s. Number one, because they are cheaper, massively cheaper. Saved about 750 quid, which is a lot of money, isn't it? And they literally do everything a controller does. There's no difference. The only things they don't have are obviously the pads, but not overly bothered. Not a big thing. I did have a little incident in regards to buying them, as I know you two clearly want to hear. And
well, I was present.
You're gonna force me. You're gonna force it out of me, aren't you?
Well, you know,
I can tell the story. I was there, present on the phone at the time.
You was indeed, and I had a little bit of a wobbly. I ain't gonna. I did. I had a bit of a tantrum. A little. What do you call it? Terrible twos moment. Well, look, listen here. I was all excited. I was all happy. Yeah, I put them in my basket, thinking, yeah, no problem. And I realised I had to transfer money from one account to the next account. So I've come out of there, gone into the banks, transferred it over, gone back, boom, gone, just gone, nowhere to be seen. He was on the phone. I'm like, they're sold. Someone's bought them. I weren't happy. And then I was like, right, I'm gonna ring the shop, find out what's gone on. 38 calls I made to the shop before they picked up. 38. And that's not even an exaggeration. It was 38 calls. So I ring them up and they say they're pending payment. I was like, right, okay, what does that mean? Because, you know, and they're like, well, they're in someone's basket waiting to pay for them. I'm like, yeah, they're in my basket. I want to pay for them. And they refused to sell them to me because I couldn't prove that they was in my basket. So that was about 11 o'clock in the morning, T?
Well, there's a bit more to it than that, because in between the 38 calls, who was helping you trying to find other ones available around the country?
No one.
Okay.
No, in fairness, we found two sets which were close to me. There was one in Norwich, wasn't there? And he wanted 300, I believe, with a DDM 4000, wasn't it? The Behringer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then he said I could have them for 250, just the turntables on their own. And there was one in Wood Green, I think, the Wood Green sort of area, which is very close to me. And I think he got back to me. I think he wanted 250 as well, didn't he? Or are they different people? No, one was dodgy. One had a dodgy jog wheel, didn't it? And that's why we didn't get. That's why.
You had your two in Norwich. One had sticky buttons, and one had wouldn't load up properly. Just took its time to load. Anyway, you didn't get those.
Hang on. Before we go any further, talking about taking time to load, these ones take time to load. So they're not the quickest.
So if it's taking time to load compared to a good deck, how long is it taking? Is it like you're sitting there clock watching?
So when you boot it up, it comes up, screen comes on, and then they're both the same. There's no difference in the boot up time between either of them. They don't like being rushed. You have to let them boot up. So you turn them on, don't touch nothing, give it about 20 seconds, they're good to go. Which, in fairness, it's got quite a lot to process, isn't it? It's got MIDI, it's got SD card, it's got CD, and it's got USB. So you think if you've got a CD in there already, and a USB and an SD card, it's got to process all that data, isn't it?
Well,
before it's ready to go.
You get up in the morning, you got to process where you are in the world, what day it is. Got to go to the loo, have your bath, have your coffee, before you even can think about speaking a compass mentis word, innit?
My it don't take that long because they'll be there for about 3 hours trying to get ready. I'm not the quickest in the morning.
I have his preference of getting up at the crack of midday if possible. But anyway, so God knows how long it would have taken, at 30 seconds, a minute or more. You just don't want to buy anything that's a bit dodgy. And where you got them from, you had a 3-month warranty as well on them, and were cheaper. So it was worth the 38 calls in the end, and a bit of petrol money.
It was.
A bit of heartache.
Yeah, but it wasn't that. I had just over a quarter of a tank, and when I come back, I was just off the red. So I didn't even have. It was probably what, 15 quid's worth of fuel, there and back. That's and I get my warranty, don't I? That's the key, isn't it? It's the warranty that's important.
Yeah, that's most important.
If anything goes wrong, I can take them back. They can fix them, or they can just give me my money back. So,
yeah.
But I had Destiny round today. She's thinking of getting a pair.
Is she?
Yeah, she prefers them to the controller.
Okay.
Will she go? Will she go should we go the route, the CD route, the 700s, or go for the digital 900s?
Well, I said to her, the 900s are the upgrades from them, and she went, "Well, they can't be. They ain't got a CD slot."
Well, thousands are the technical upgrade. 900s are the upgrade, but without the CD slot.
Yeah, so the 900s would probably be better, because the thousands, do you really need?
You don't really need CD. No, have you got USB and SD card? Are you ever going to put a CD again when you can burn the USB? You just use USB.
Well, the only reason I bought the CDs is because I've got tons of songs on CD, and I was saying to Destiny today, I've got to go through all them, and I've got to put all them on the computer. Obviously, for me to put all that onto the computer, it's going to take me days, isn't it? Let's be honest, it's days of work.
Yeah.
And if I didn't get the CD drives, then I would have been spending probably the rest of this week uploading everything from CD to the computer, then onto an external hard drive, and then onto and I just haven't got enough room on the USBs to put everything on there. It just wouldn't be enough.
Well, the idea is obviously when you download digitally, you just download and then just pull off exactly what you need for that particular set.
Yeah, so I can literally just delete what's on the USB cards and be done with it. But what I'm going to do, I've got a 32 gig. I've used nothing. I've used about 2% of the memory so far. I've got about 400 tunes on there, and I've used about 2% of the memory. So I'm going to put Garage into folders so I can have loads of different styles of music on one thumb drive. So I'll have Garage in one folder. You go in there, open the folder, it brings your Garage up. Electro, funky house. I can just have it all in there in separate folders.
Well, I was speaking to another DJ colleague of yours and mine, and he says that there's definitely no drama. So there's definitely always drama as when is around you, DJ MV, when anything you ever do. So with that in mind, anybody who is listening or was watching, depending obviously whether it's on podcast or YouTube, then we would like to hear your stories, your DJ stories of what you got up to, and if you can send them to Danceparty247 at outlook.com, or hit us up on a DM on Instagram, which is Danceparty247 official, and we will read your stories out and see how much trouble you get into, just like DJ MV is never out of. How about that?
It's not my fault.
I thought that went rather well.
The world is against me. I've decided.
Well, especially when you go for webcams and decks and what else? Yeah, there must be something else. Mixes. How many mixes? You had 3 mixes in this process. Yeah.
I have,
waiting outside and the guy doesn't turn up for an hour. Pretty much every piece of DJ kit that you have had to obtain has had a bit of a story behind it, innit?
Yeah, apart from the first CD decks I got after this year, they did. I didn't have an issue with them. They just turned up, which was lovely. No stress. Actually, no, there was a story, wasn't there? There was. So, there was a story because I didn't know that they had vinyl mode or scrap mode for about, what?
About 3 weeks, wasn't it? Cool. Wasn't that
No, about 2 months. It's only been the last sort of 4 to 6 weeks I've known about that I could do rewinds and stuff on them scratch.
And you find out in the middle of a show. In the middle of a show, you find out.
Yeah, in the middle of a show, yeah.
So what buttons were you pressing and going, oh, I pressed that button before in the middle of a show? So what does that do?
The effects buttons. So at the effects button, there was an effects button that said scratch. So I pressed it. Simple as that.
And it give you the vinyl effects.
It does, yeah. They're not. It's not brilliant, but it done the job. The new ones, again, they're better. I'm still getting used to them.
I believe that you've been watching a lot of videos this week, Mr. Wongi. Is that correct?
Yes, I have been watching quite a few videos on controllers. Off
the good side, yeah. The DJ porn, yeah.
Yeah, I was watching. I was looking at videos on the 800s, the 1000s, the XDJ-RR, and the RX2.
Because so to clarify, that's the DDJ 800, DDJ 1000.
Yep.
And obviously
XDJ
is RX,
yep.
XDJ, and the RXs, which is the Pioneer.
Yes.
Controller or standalone setups. And what did you learn, Mr. Wongi?
I learned that the RX2 pretty much does everything I want it to do. No, all things aside, the 800s, they're okay. The 1000s, with the 800s on your effects, they've got plastic buttons. On the 1000s, they have rubber pads. Huge difference. A lot of DJs like that go through it will tell you a rubber pad is 1,000 times better than an actual just plastic button. For durability, one for secondly, for the feel, it's more spontaneous. It feels more spontaneous on the pad than it does on the button.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going by what I've watched. I have felt a few pads and stuff and played on a few controllers with pads, and I will admit it does feel a lot better. Yeah, effects side, the XDJ-RR is limited with its beat sounds. It only has a 3 setting, whereas the RX2 has about 7 or 8 settings. The DDJ Thousands has quite a few on there. The DDJ 1000 is a very good controller, in its own right. But is it worth the money between the 800s and the 1000s? The difference, there's not a lot of difference. There's some. But yeah, I think importantly the rubber pads is a big difference, and on the reviews for it, it's enormously encouraged by people.
Mm-hmm. So somebody's coming in. So did you come to a conclusion to narrow it down? Is it still a case of of a play?
I will narrow it down to either the RX2 or the 1000s.
Okay. Is there not a lot between them? For what you need to do?
For what I want to do, there's not a great deal in with it. However, with the 1000s is a 4-channel. Yeah, which is hugely one of my things that I like to have, a 4-channel. The RX2, however, can be played with 5 channels. There is a video on YouTube that is a tricks and hacks and shows you how to run 5 channels out of an RX2, where it's only a 2-channel. It also has, as standard, it's got an auxiliary which runs underneath the channel, so you can still play and have the auxiliary as a 3rd channel.
So that's a big point for you, isn't it? It's the mixer in the middle, what it will do and what options it gives you in terms of putting your wheels of steel in either side as well, and therefore remembering where you are in terms of flicking left and right. If it was 4 channels, it's on its own channel, and you don't have to worry, just up channel fader and away you go.
Yeah. But yeah, as of to like one of the reasons why I'm mainly swayed for an RX2 is because of its features, its abilities to be creative with music, with the sounds. You can alter sounds, you can pitch bend it, you can do quite a few things with. You can do the same thing with 1,000, but between the price difference between 1,000 and an RX2 isn't that too much. So if down to the two, I'm not sure yet. I need to practice. I have a little go on them.
So you've narrowed it down to those two, and it's hands-on time.
Yeah. The XDJ-RR, there's not bundles of difference between that and the RX2 in retrospect of like what it has, the capabilities, but it hasn't got rubber pads.
Right.
And I prefer the pads all day long.
So,
How much are you actually going to use of it though? This is what I asked you this the other day, didn't I? And how much are you actually going to use of this controller indoors in a home DJ setting? How much of it are you really going to use?
Personally, I couldn't really put a figure on it. I mean, like, because you progress as you go, and when you find new things out, it just expands a bit more, you know. And then you get you get the wanting to be creative more. But like in terms of like when I first get it, well, it's a big learning curve. I've got a lot to take on board. I've got a lot to learn from it. So I suppose effectively the first small period would be 10 to 20% I'd be using.
I think you're being a bit generous, to be honest.
Maybe
when you think about it, when you first get it, the first thing you're going to want to do is just mix, isn't it? That's the first thing you're going to want to do to get to grips with the layout. Yeah. And then you might start using a reloop. And then you'll get used to that. Then you might start dropping in effects. So it's going to be a good couple of months before you really start to get to grips with it.
Yeah. Maybe I suppose in the first quarter I might get to use up to 10-15%. Maybe.
I think in the first year you're only going to be using 20-30% of it anyway.
Either or, but it's
I honestly do, because in a club setting you will use everything at some point, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because you'd have the availability to use it, but at home, that's the thing, isn't it? Are you really going to use all them bits and bobs?
I suppose it depends whether you want to go down if you're in a total club setting, then you either go down the route of a performance set where you're chopping and changing and using all the effects, and you're really using it to its maximum, or you're just doing what you would have on two decks, which is blending and maybe a little effect here or there or something just to add a little bit of sprinkle on top. To go down the performance side of it will take anybody starting from scratch quite a considerable length of time. However, if you've got one of the top pieces of kit, then you are kind of limitless. Currently, you're maxed out in terms of, that what that kit will do is pretty much everything that's available for you to be able to do. Yeah. So there's a bit of headroom there. You're not going to max yourself out. The maximum things that is there, and where you are, there's a big gap. Yeah. It take years.
You see, another thing on some of these like videos that I've watched, mainly the XDJ-RR, is it was mentioned that for the price that you pay, for the type of like quality that it's not quality inside, but the shell and parts of it, it felt rather cheap. Like quite a few people saying, like round the pads. Not the pads, the jog plates and that. The casing around that is like it's like a plastic. Whereas like with an RX2, go on.
It's metal, isn't it?
We step over each other and everybody takes the gala straight down the middle. I'm speaking.
It's solid.
As I was saying.
Again, you did didn't you?
They are a metal casing, and on a whole, it is better. But if you drop a £1,800 bit of kit, you're a bit of a muppet, aren't you?
Right,
Simple as that.
well, yeah. But,
It's pretty stupid, isn't it?
With an RX2 on some of the videos, it said like when they ordered it, yeah, they said it was just shipped in a foam bag, yeah, in, like a foam case, yeah, right, and so they were saying like the Pioneer is confident enough to pack it in its own case, yeah, being confident that it can take a knock here, yeah. It's it's a foam case, but obviously with a soft material outline. Anyway, they're happy to package it and send it in that condition, not knowing that it's a sturdy piece of kit.
And I don't care how confident you are in your product. Your product is only as good as the Muppet delivering it. Yeah. True or not? If you've got some geezer who goes, "Oh, there's your package," he don't know it's 1,800 quid worth of kit. Sod it, bosh, lobs it on the van. You don't know what damage that's doing inside, do you? You know, so in my opinion,
comes back to what you said before. If you get it from a shop or a reputable shop,
that's where I was going. You go there, you pick it up.
I've taken your Thunderbird one a piece now. There you go.
Don't start with me, son. Yeah, you go. You turn up there. You pick it. You go there. It's all ordered. You turn up. You pay for it. You walk out with it. You put it in your car or your pal's car, whatever the case is. You know, from A to B, it's had the best of care.
Yeah.
MV, that's me. Ronnie.
Mr. Vane, yeah.
It's too many coffees. That's what's doing it. Too many coffees.
No, I just think you're a bit vain.
Do you remember all them years ago? Probably 12 years ago, maybe longer now. I didn't drive then, did I?
No.
And we got on the train and we went all the way to West End DJ in London, up Oxford Street, or I think it is, or somewhere like that. And we went up there and we picked up my Pioneer. Yeah. And I could have had it shipped next day. But like, again, I don't trust. I've never trusted. I don't trust. Because back then that was about what, 6,500 quid, wasn't it? For that mixer, just for a mixer. And that was a lot, 6,500 quid 12 years ago, which a lot of money.
What did you get when we remember when we won a train? Well, where was it? That's where I got my cordless mics from. What did you get there? I can't remember.
Oh, that was Sapphires. I think I bought a mixer again. I think I bought another mixer.
Yeah,
but you go there, didn't you? You go there, you pick it up, and you bring it back, because, like I said, that video I see, the geezer was literally scanning them and just lobbing them. He did not care about anyone's parcels, and there was soft parcels. You can tell the difference between a soft parcel and a hard box, can't you? So and it didn't matter what it was. He was throwing them all.
To be fair, there's a lot of courier services that when they're in the depot and they're loading their vans, they sit and they sling it to one side because they know what area it's going. Yeah, like in that part of van. I've seen firsthand. I've been down to some of these depots before, you know, and I've seen how they load vans. You know, if
they treat people's stuff like rubbish. They don't care.
Yeah.
You know, the only reason you get stuff delivered is if it's too far. If you can buy it for not much different money, close to home, honestly, I advise you. If you're spending a lot of money on DJ equipment, like, you know, you're buying a Nexus system, you're buying a 9,000 mixer, if you're buying a set of 1210s, you can still buy them. You know, they're worth like 500-600 quid a piece now, each deck.
Yeah.
Go and pick them up. Do not trust these Muppets, complete morons. There's a lot of other things I want to call them, but I'm not allowed. Yeah, do not trust these idiots with your stuff, because they do not give a turd about them. They do not give a turd.
Kel, when you're putting your drink in your glass, make sure I can't hear it on my headphones, please. I can hear that.
When? What? Just now?
Just before you took a swig, you went.
No, I didn't. Honestly,
I heard it.
I promise you, I haven't put nothing in it. I haven't. Not since earlier. I haven't.
Well, it sounded like a top and a little.
No, honestly, I promise you, I literally picked it up and I looked at it like that, and then I went,
Right, okay.
T, you know what that is, don't you? That's his brain. His brain's working. He's trying to process stuff.
He's putting these sounds.
That's the cogs falling out.
All these sounds are coming out into the ether, aren't they? It's like stone tape theory, isn't it? That you go into Wongy's house in the middle of the night or his flat in the middle of the night, and all you'll hear is "You what?" And then you hear a bottle top go glug 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 glug. That's all you'll hear. It's stone tape theory.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant.
I tell you why you don't go and get your DJ kit for through the post or in delivery is because Mr. Envy has absolutely no patience. When he wants it yesterday. And he'll go and get it yesterday. Yeah, it's literally. If it's close enough, it's like, how far do I have to drive? Right, okay, 10 hours, I'm off. I'm going. I'll get it.
Yeah.
If I get there and back before work, we're getting it. It doesn't matter how far away it is.
Everyone would agree with me. True or not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, I could have got them new CDJs posted, right? And I would have saved a tenner. I would have saved a tenner. But I get them the same day for an extra £10. And I get out of the house as well. Me and the missus, we drove up there. We had a nice afternoon. It was all right. It was nice and quality time. So there's other benefits to actually going out and getting picking stuff up.
Oh yeah,
especially
if you've got a local business that is good to you, and you buy your kit with them, you get to know them over time. You know, in America, look at mamas and poppers kind of shop. Your local shop to you, rather than obviously some massive conglomerate web place. Yeah, support your local supplier is gonna serve you well compared to the big companies that don't. And you never know that they may well serve you back as well and help you out as well.
I will be honest though, over the years, I was in Cricklewood the other night when I won it because I think I phoned you, wasn't I?
Yeah.
And I was driving. I come off the 406, and you come up onto Cricklewood High Road, go past the speed camera, and there used to be a DJ shop called Sapphires. I don't know if you remember it, T. No, you just shake your head anyway. And I said to Ronnie, I looked over and I was like, it's gone. It's gone. Nothing.
Yeah.
There was another DJ shop down in Chadwell Heath. Do you remember his DJ Empire? Do you remember we went down there a couple of times?
Yeah.
Picked some need stylists up and stuff like that.
That's it, yeah.
That's gone. They're, all these small DJ shops that are sort of independent, they're all going, mate. They're all going. There's the only DJ shop I know of now that is still quite a small place in regards to the big companies is West End DJ and Get in the Mix at Colchester.
Is it
They're
the
only
one down?
ones that are small.
But
isn't there one?
Get in the Mix have got a big online presence though as well because they're also part of their own Why Buy New, so they do a lot of business online, which surely supports the other side of it as well.
I mean, Why Buy New and Get in the Mix is the same thing. They're basically their B stock. Their B stock goes from Get in the Mix. Yeah. It just transfers over. But they're still, in regards to big companies, they're still quite small, aren't they?
If you do have a DJ story you wish to share with us, again, oh, come on. Try to
It's your fault.
Why? Take it seriously.
So if you have any DJ stories you'd like to share with us, you can hit us up at danceparty247@outlook.com, or you can hit us up on a DM Instagram at danceparty247official. We also have a Facebook page at danceparty247official as well. You're welcome to hit us up on any of them. Any DJ related stories that have been either funny or even stressful, please hit us up and we will read them out live on the podcast.
Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and don't forget to share, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to what?
Tell a friend.
Tell a family, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell someone else's friend.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Welcome back to the podcast. My name's Martin Young. That's Simon White. And that's Kerry Wong. That's all Wong, innit? Anyway, right, okay. My name's D82. Welcome back to the podcast.
Did you rehearse that?
Remember to like, like, share. No, hang on. Even I have to remember.